Hey guys, enter the stars. And I'm not quite sure what to name this video in fear of it being unmonetized and defunded. But the truth needs to get out. And thanks to Eric for sending me the link to this story. Apparently, this girl that's been sexually exploited by Dr. Phil and Hollywood basically is going to have her own TV show. We're going to read through this article. Before we do, I want to give you an update on the situation on the channel. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for those of you that have helped with this channel. And that brings us to the subject of the super chat. And when I first saw this, I thought it was a good thing. I thought it's a public way for people to give small amounts of money without feeling compelled to give with this button that's just always there on my YouTube channel for people to donate. I just don't agree with that because it becomes more about that than it does about the channel. But many of you have come forward and asked me if you could donate and how we can do it, and were a little upset with me that I didn't provide an avenue by which you could do that. So I thought the super chat was a nice middle ground until I found out that the super chat, that YouTube was taking a 30% of what you guys were giving. And that just enraged me. As if they weren't already rich enough, they come up with more ways to defund our videos, and then they double dip and are taking money out of the super chat. So I'm done. I'm disabling it. And that's where that sits. But for those of you that feel compelled, I do have an avenue for you to give a little. And then I won't even have to have these discussions about YouTube trying to defund this channel. It will become a non-issue. But I even hate doing that because there's no need for that. Why do the elite get away with everything that they do becomes funded, and there are no special rules for them? But for us, there are special rules. It's just not fair, and it shouldn't come out of your pockets. It shouldn't. Each and every one of you have had to struggle through this life the same way that I've had to struggle through this life. I'm no different, which is why I don't like to take donations from people. But some of you are in a position where you can do that. And that's what I began to realize. And I began to realize too that some of you were upset with me that I was not allowing you to give to me. And I get that too. It's kind of like my mother. She gets upset if I don't let her do things for me because she's my mother. And it kind of works the same way with all of you. I consider all of you guys my friends. Now, what is going on the channel is it has come under attack. This was sudden and rapid. They basically went through my viral videos. The pizza slime was actually one of them. There was a pizza slime video that they defunded and that is now still currently defunded. And they came in and they basically went through my channel with yellow $signs, which means this material is not appropriate for advertising, which basically means they defund your channel at will. It was a sudden attack. I've reached out to my network contact who was going to try to reach out to YouTube, but apparently we all signed some kind of an agreement when we came onto YouTube, which basically allows them to defund whatever they want, and we can't ask any questions about it. Now, several of those videos have been, I appealed them, and they were released to be monetized or to have ads on them. The ones about the Oroville Dam. But the others were not. Pizza Slime and Pizzagate. And Pizza Slime is important because this is the website that Dr. Phil showed on his show. He posted it on the show, screenshot of it. And this was the place where this girl went, this young girl, Danielle, 13 years old, went for a quote-unquote photo shoot, an all-day photo shoot. And Dr. Phil said to her, It's okay to have fun as long as you don't forget who you are. So he seemed to endorse this pizza slime. And when we dug into it, we found something very troubling. We found the little chickens and hot dogs and pizza, which are pedo code words. And in the video that they defunded, all I did was show the pizza slime images. And so now you see the hypocrisy. Okay. Dr. Phil can talk about pizza slime and endorse it and have all his commercials on his show. But when Enter the Stars does it, all of a sudden it's not appropriate content for advertising. And now you see the danger in some arbitrary entity. And I've called out my network person and asked him specifically that I need to know who my accuser is. It is not fair that some secret person or entity can come onto a channel and just start defunding it unless you know who it is. And then that person gets put on blast. Then the whole world knows who that person is. And that's what they don't want. But this little girl, now the exploitation continues. Rose to internet stardom after she inspired the Cash Me Outside meme on the Dr. Phil show, is set to be a reality TV star. She's headed to LA to meet with executives to talk about starting her own TV show. Her manager said there are 7 production companies who are interested in working with the Cash Me Outside girl, and 4 of them are hoping to create a new reality show based on Danielle and her mom, Barbara Ann. And why not? Isn't this whole thing headed toward lowering the age of consent? So if this girl can have a reality TV show, now all of a sudden she becomes more adult-like. Dr. Phil should be ashamed of himself. He should be doing shows to counter what he started. She would have never, ever got these opportunities if she was not on the Dr. Phil show. And she is too young to know what is going on. She's just riding the wave of the Matrix, like so many of us do early in our life. So this is the story. You're going to now see this young 13-year-old girl on some kind of reality TV show dealing with all this drama and sexuality, which was the subject matter of why she was even on the Dr. Phil show in the first place, further poisoning the minds of our young children who are going to watch this stuff and think it's cool and think that they're little adults at 13 and 14 years old. And this is where everything's headed, you guys. And I'm sorry to report this bad news, but this is the truth about our reality. Unless some of us step up and say something about it, nothing's ever going to change. It's only going to get worse. Much love to you guys. Take care and be safe.